Hello, very lovely good evening and welcome to Camnet TV main news. Today, the 7th of January in the year 2025. Let's take a look at the headlines. LACTALIS Zambia to close manufacturing site amid market challenges. Fuel transit tax policy to trouble regional trade and fuel supply, warns economist. Power rationing to continue despite rising water levels. In international news, deadly earthquake strikes Tibet, kills 95. And in sports news, BURKINA FASO defender ISSA KABORÉ joins WERDER BREMEN on loan. Join me for these and many more stories after the break.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
To present the Camnet TV main news, I'm Tapelo Joe Smata. ZESCO has confirmed that power rationing will persist despite increased water levels at Kariba Dam following consistent rainfall. ZESCO spokesperson Matongo Maumbi attributes the measure to insufficient water for sustained hydro generation. Mr. Maumbi underscored the importance of continued efficient electricity usage and the adoption of energy-saving practices by the public during the challenging period. He also noted that ZESCO is actively working on diversifying Zambia's energy mix by investing in alternative sources of energy such as solar to enhance long-term electricity supply stability. Yesterday, the Zambezi River Authority disclosed that the water levels at Kariba Lake have shown a steady increase due to sustained rainfall over the reservoir and its immediate catchment areas. According to a hydrology expert yesterday from the authority, the lake level now stands at 475.87 meters, up from 475.15 meters recorded on December 16, 2024. LACTALIS Zambia, formerly known as Parmalat, has officially announced its decision to shut down its manufacturing site by March 31st, 2025. The Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry confirmed the development in a statement issued by Principal Public Relations Officer Evanes Nankala, attributing the decision to shifting market dynamics and increased competition in the milk sector. During a meeting with LACTALIS management in Lusaka, Commerce Minister Chipoka Mlenga reaffirmed government's commitment to fostering a business-friendly environment. He stressed the importance of a smooth transition to minimize the impact on employees and the broader economy.
But you want to import from manufactured things from South Africa and sell them on the Zambian market. It goes totally against the agenda of this government.
Yes.
We don't want to be a retail country.
Yes.
We want to be a manufacturing country. Look, the competition that you are facing from these other companies you've mentioned, in my opinion, like you rightly said, and I agree with you, but there are certain factors, and I lament we talked about more than 10 years losses is sad. I wish this was known to the before and look, we are the same government about this and how we could intervene. It is healthy to have conversations on how we deal with these issues. But here we are. To be honest with you, and to you, the Ministry of Livestock, I don't think this goes into our vision of importing things, closing our manufacturing base to import to sell on our market. Our vision and the focus is not for us be a consumer of countries that will manufacture for us. We have the milk, we have the labor, we have everything, and then we shut it. For who? So that's why I asked you a question, is there anything? Because look, on competition side, we'll get more players coming on board. I know you are the leaders in this technology and others, but look, thank you, you are the leaders, but you inspired others to do more, and they've come. And when they've come, it creates jobs, it creates taxes, among many other things. But innovation is what we require from yourself to remain afloat in business.
We now go to KABORÉ Central Province, where a daring escape attempt was filed at the KABORÉ Subordinate Court yesterday when a 30-year-old remandee, Matthews Mwafipa, from Makululu compound, attempted to flee custody. Mr. Mwafipa, facing housebreaking and theft charges, bolted while being escorted back to a police truck after a delayed court mention. Swift action by Constable Kalala, supported by women constables Malao and Tambo, saw Mwafipa recaptured after 5 warning shots were fired. Central Province Police Commissioner Charity Munganga confirmed that Mr. Mwafipa now faces additional charges for the escape attempt. Ms. Munganga confirmed that Mwafipa is now facing additional charges for escaping from lawful custody. He has been returned to the correctional facility, and authorities have expressed relief that the situation was brought under control without any injuries. In economic news, economist Kelvin Chisanga has urged government to negotiate with Zimbabwe over the $25,000 refundable transit tax policy for fuel tankers. He warns the policy could disrupt Zambia's fuel supply and regional trade if not resolved. Mr. Tsanga suggests alternative electronic monitoring to reduce economic strain. He noted that the inflated fee has created significant challenges for Zambia's access to fuel, while also discouraging drivers from using the route.
The Zimbabwean refundable tax policy which has been introduced, which basically is working on transit sort of operation for most tankers, is basically going to have escalating effect to the regional market as the first point, especially when you are looking at transit goods that are coming into other countries like Zambia, Democratic Republic of Congo, and many other neighboring countries. So already that disturbs the market patterns that we should be able to see in the region. Then secondly, it also comes out to be a very bad policy model for the government of Zimbabwe, because obviously what they're going to see is that they're going to see less revenue getting into their government chambers, meaning what we see is that the traffic that has been built over time will be able now to divert into other routes to avoid that pass-through effect which we are seeing on the cost of the refundable tax transit policy. So meaning what we see also is that the introduction that we are seeing with the refundable transit tax is basically coming as an additional cost to the running of business, meaning it's now triggering the growth in most of the commodities as at the end of it we'll be able to see now the output price also having a triggered figure from there, because obviously that comes as a cost, because what we interplay there is that the claim back of this amount will basically also trigger some other costs like lodging, because obviously it's not a one-day aspect.
The Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation has announced the construction of the Siakalinda Dam in Siavonga District, Southern Province, is at 85% complete. According to a ministry's principal public relations officer, Prince Chiuni, the contractor, Africa Limited Company, has not abandoned the project despite the contract expiring on 15 December 2024. Government has initiated a direct bidding process to re-engage the same contractor to complete the remaining 15% of works after the rainy season. Mr. Chiuni emphasized that the dam is a crucial infrastructure project by government aimed at improving water supply and supporting economic growth in the region. The project is being executed at a cost of $1,368,248 United States dollars. He also disclosed that in collaboration with the contractor, an emergency spillway has been constructed to evacuate flood water, thereby protecting the integrity of the dam wall during the rainy season.
The Ministry of Water Development and Sanitation would like to clarify that the contractor, Construction for Africa Limited Company, that is working on Siakalinda Dam in Siavonga district of Southern Province, has not abandoned the project, but the contract expired on 15 December last year. However, the ministry has already initiated the process of direct bidding the same contractor to complete the remaining 15% of the work after the rain season. Engineers from the ministry are closely monitoring the situation and have regular consultations with the contractor to guarantee that work continues smoothly when rainfall activities reduce and ensure that the project is completed to the highest standard. The dam is a key infrastructure initiative by government aimed at improving water security and supporting economic growth in the region. The ministry is committed to ensuring the timely and successive completion of this vital project, which will bring long-term benefits to the community, such as water storage capacity for irrigation and livestock in the area.
The ruling United Party for National Development, UPND National Youth spokesperson Phineas Pumulo has urged party youths to avoid being used as tools of disruption in constituencies with sitting UPND MPs. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Pumulo emphasized the importance of loyalty to President Hakainde Hichilema and the party's ideals over individual interests. He also cautioned against resorting to violence or airing grievances on social media, urging members to use established party structures to resolve issues in line with party rules.
We as a party are youth leaders. We want to advise our youths across the country not to allow themselves to be used or to be part of a confusion involving aspiring members of parliament and sitting members of parliament. We, as a party UPND, we want to advise aspiring candidates that in the constituencies where we are sitting members of parliament, don't bring confusion. Secondly, don't take the party matters on social media. You can follow the laid down procedure. We know our structures very well. If you have got issues, complaints, you know the channels to use to hang out or to view out your disagreements. We are not going to allow anyone to bring confusion in the party using our youths. Our loyalty as youth leaders and the youths across the country, it is to the president and the party itself, not to an individual. I want to advise the youths of UPND across the country that we have structures and we have protocols to follow if we have got issues. We want to advise aspiring candidates to follow the laid down procedure of our party. The party UPND, we have got our party manifesto and the guidelines are also stipulated in the constitution of the party. Therefore,
Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has announced that starting this year, Constituency Development Fund (CDF) committees will be appointed by provincial ministers. Local Government Minister Garin Kombo stated that the move aims to enhance accountability and streamline communication processes as outlined in the newly amended CDF Act of 2018. The revised Act seeks to improve the efficiency of the fund implementation while promoting inclusivity and transparency. The updated legislation incorporates diverse stakeholders, including the youth, women, and religious organizations to foster broader community participation.
Undertook the repeal and replacement of the CDF Act 2018 in order to enhance its effectiveness and ensure better implementation of the fund. This review aligns with the New Dawn government's commitment under the leadership of our President, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, to place decentralization via devolution at the core center of the development agenda for this country, which is supported by a robust and effective legislation. Hereunder are the key changes that the CDF Act number 1 of 2024 comes with, and includes inter alia the CDF committee structure and composition. The new act expands the composition of the Constituent Development Fund CDFC and now incorporating broader spectrum of stakeholders, including youth organizations, women groups, religious organizations. This inclusive approach ensures more voices are heard, fostering greater community participation that improves decision-making for the management of the Constituency Development Fund resources. The appointment of CDFC members by provincial ministers. A key change in the decentralization of the appointment process for CDFC members, which is now managed at the provincial level by the provincial minister, replacing the previous process that was handled by this Minister of Local Government and Rural Development. This change does promote local ownership and facilitate faster and swift decision-making.
Opposition Socialist Party National Youth Secretary Stanley Mubata has expressed disappointment with government's alleged inaction to incidents of electoral violence involving United Party for National Development UPND cadres during last year's by-elections. Mr. Mubata called on the UPND to embrace honesty, decency and respect for all political parties during elections. He claimed he was personally attacked by UPND cadres in Eastern Province, yet no action has been taken against the perpetrators despite his police report. Reacting to Home Affairs Minister Jack Mwimbu's recent caution against violence in the upcoming Pambashe and Petaoke by-elections, Mr. Mubata accused the UPND of being the most violent political party in the country and urged them to take responsibility for their actions.
Quiet, he's been hiding in his armpits. We thought that him as a senior man, as he is, you know, he's a seasoned lawmaker and politician. He should practice politics of decency, of honesty. I am standing here demonstrating and confirming that I was attacked by UPND cadres led by Malan Zimba, Katete District Commissioner, when we went for a by-election in Girika Ward of Eastern Province in Chipada. The other one who was instigating violence was Lyson Nyirenda, Eastern Province Youth Chairperson, to get our statement. So if that is the case, the man is saying we should not practice violence. Where has he seen the Socialist Party engaged in political violence? It's even annoying that his supervisor, the president, has been quiet, including issuing statements that the by-elections have been peaceful, there have been no pangas. I have seen UPND carrying pangas. I have seen UPND carrying bars, and we were whipped. I'm one of those individuals who suffered. When we went to report there, the police almost arrested us. Why should they begin pretending as if there is no violence today? I think it is even annoying. They need to be honest with themselves. They have been feeding us with lies, just like they've been feeding us with failed promises. We won't take it anymore. We know it is the UPND that is highly compromised on matters of violence.
The ruling United Party for National Development, UPND, has criticized opposition Patriotic Front faction leader Given Lubinda for what he described as opportunistic and disrespectful behavior during the funeral of Wesley Chibambo, popularly known as Dandy Crazy, held yesterday. UPND Deputy Media Director Jelo Katambo expressed disappointment, stating that funerals are moments of reflection, respect and unity, not platforms for political posturing. He emphasized that the incident calls for better leadership and urged all political figures to conduct themselves with maturity and respect, especially during sensitive moments of national mourning. Mr. Katambo reaffirmed the UPND's commitment to fostering a political culture rooted in peace, unity and respect for all citizens.
Mr. Lubinda should have known better that funerals are a time for reflection, respect and unity, not a time for political posturing. And his decision to exploit this moment of mourning for personal and political gain is a clear violation of the peaceful and respectful environment that the UPND administration has diligently worked to create over time. Under the leadership of President Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND, Zambia has experienced a shift towards a more peaceful, inclusive and respectful political environment. The country is no longer marked by the political violence and bloodshed that characterize the Patriotic Front era. Zambians are now enjoying a period of healing, unity and national reconciliation. Mr. Lubinda's conduct at the funeral starkly contrasts this new era and demonstrates his failure to embrace the spirit of peaceful coexistence and respect that is being championed by the UPND. During a time when the nation is moving forward, Mr. Lubinda's actions serve as a painful reminder of the political toxicity and opportunism that plagued the PF government. He has demonstrated a complete disregard for the values of integrity, dignity and unity that we as Zambians hold dear. His behavior is a clear example of why the people of Zambia rejected the PF and voted for a leadership that would prioritize peace over division, respect and self-interest. We would like to commend Minister of Sport, Youth and Arts, Elvis Nkandu, for his exemplary conduct at the funeral through his presence, which was marked by respect and humility and reflects the true leadership we have come to expect from the UPND. This incident should serve as a powerful reminder that Zambia deserves better leadership, better values and better conduct from those who seek to lead us.
And that particular story takes us to our first set of commercials, but join us for international and sports news. When we come back, please do stay tuned.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Thank you so much for still staying with us. And now in international news. An earthquake struck Tibet on Tuesday, claiming at least 95 lives and injuring 130 others, while many remain trapped beneath the rubble. The 7.1 magnitude quake, as measured by the U.S. Geological Survey, shook the high-altitude region of western China and extended across the border into Nepal. Rescue operations are underway with approximately 1,500 fire and rescue workers and 200 soldiers deployed to the affected areas. Video footage from state broadcaster CCTV shows extensive damage with crushed vehicles and debris strewn streets in heavily impacted villages. The Tibet Earthquake Relief Headquarters reported that 1,000 houses were damaged in addition to the human toll. Here's a roundup of international news.
A strong earthquake killed at least 95 people in Tibet on Tuesday and left many others trapped as dozens of aftershocks shook the high-altitude region of western China and across the border in Nepal. Officials in the region said at a brief news conference that 130 others were injured. State broadcaster CCTV said footage showed rescue workers searching homes in a heavily damaged village, while chunks that had been knocked off buildings littered streets and crushed cars in other areas. State media reported that about 1,000 houses were damaged and 130 people were injured in addition to the deaths. The U.S. Geological Survey said the earthquake measured magnitude 7.1 and was relatively shallow at a depth of about 10 kilometers. China recorded the magnitude as 6.8. About 50 aftershocks were recorded in the 3 hours after the quake.
More than 11.5 million people are now estimated to be internally displaced.
Speaking at the UN, Adem Wasunu raised her concerns about the ongoing conflict in Sudan and that $4.2 billion was needed to support the crisis.
December saw further escalation of the fighting, including in Zamzam displacement camp, with civilians killed and injured by artillery shelling and reports of those seeking to leave the camp being blocked from doing so. Fighting also continued in other parts of the country, including Khartoum, Al-Jazeera, Sinnar, South Kordofan and West Kordofan. On 19 December, the same day as our last council briefing, 3 of our World Food Programme colleagues were killed by an airstrike on their compound in Yabus in Blue Nile State.
During the meeting, Sudan's ambassador was asked about the incoming administration.
We think President Trump is a deal maker. We would be there ready to strike a deal with him. We will be ready there to strike a deal with him. We are not coming to him empty-handed. We have our blueprint to engage with the U.S. at all times.
Sudan's conflict and forced displacement remain the primary factors of this crisis, which has been worsened by restricted humanitarian access.
Thousands of Orthodox Christians in Ethiopia came together to celebrate Christmas, donning traditional all-white garments as they participated in prayers and midnight mass to honor the birth of Jesus Christ and the conclusion of a 43-day fasting period. We are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ and we are filled with joy. We look forward to the organization of more spiritual programs in the future. Throughout the country, millions of Christians uphold their traditions by slaughtering animals and gathering with family to break their fast after midnight. Isaiah Seyum, a priest at Selassie Church in Addis Ababa, emphasized that Christmas is not just about fasting, it also involves sharing meals with the less fortunate. We don't come here to gather, celebrate the festival and leave. We engage in good deeds as we go out. When the Christian Church observes its holidays, there is a beautiful effort where those who can lend a hand to those in need and the recipients express their gratitude. During these holidays, we help the needy, strengthen the weak, support one another and reinforce our unity. Thus, the festival represents more than just a celebration. Ethiopia follows the Julian calendar, which places Christmas on January 7th and the New Year on September 11th.
Chad and Senegal have sharply criticized French President Emmanuel Macron's comments about the withdrawal of French troops from Africa, where he accused some African leaders of ingratitude and claimed their sovereignty depended on French military presence. Senegal's Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko dismissed Macron's claim that troops withdrawal involved negotiations, calling it completely erroneous. He asserted Senegal's decision was made independently as a sovereign nation and accused France of destabilizing African countries, citing Libya as an example. Chad's foreign minister condemned Macron's remarks as disrespectful to Africans and highlighted Chad's sacrifices during both world wars. He criticized France's military presence in Chad as serving French interests without fostering local development. Chad's withdrawal of French forces remains on schedule, with troops set to leave their final base by January 31, 2025.
And finally, in sports news this evening, Burkina Faso international ISSA KABORÉ is set to join German Bundesliga club WERDER Bremen on loan for the remainder of the season, pending international clearance, according to Manchester City. WERDER Bremen, currently 7th in the Bundesliga, is aiming to secure a Champions League spot, trailing by just 2 points. KABORÉ, 23, spent the first half of the season with Portugal's Benfica, where he made several appearances. A regular for Burkina Faso, he played a crucial role in the team's qualification for this year's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Since signing with Manchester City in 2020, KABORÉ has yet to make a competitive appearance for the club.
It's the 6th football club he's been loaned out to by Manchester City. ISSA KABORÉ is set to do a stint at German club WERDER Bremen for the rest of the season. According to Manchester City, the Burkina Faso defender's move is subject to international clearance. WERDER stands at 7th place in the Bundesliga, 2 points behind where it needs to be to secure a spot in the Champions League next season. KABORÉ was at Portugal's Benfica for the first half of the season, featuring in several games. He's also played for Burkina Faso several times this season, helping the club to qualify for this year's Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. The 23-year-old is yet to play a game for Manchester City since joining the club in 2020.
And that sporting item brings us to the end of this edition of Main News on the Camnet News Desk. But before we go, a quick recap of stories making headlines. LACTALIS Zambia to close manufacturing site amid market challenges. Fuel transit tax policy to trouble regional trade and fuel supply, warns economist. Power rationing to continue despite rising water levels. In international news, deadly earthquake strikes Tibet, kills 95. And in sports news, Burkina Faso defender ISSA KABORÉ joins WERDER Bremen on loan. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 11. It reads, "Beloved, if God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. We end the reading and we end the main news on the Camnet News Desk. But dear viewer, do remember that Camnet TV is not just another channel. Now, on behalf of the entire production team, I'm Tapelo Joe Smarter. Good evening and God bless.
Get all the latest updates in court news only on Camnet TV. We take you and make you feel part of the court sessions through our in-depth coverage of the adjudication process. Get informed on those who have been arrested, delayed and denied the police bond or bail victims, persons taking plea, court adjournments, verdicts, and those administration issues in the judiciary. Camnet TV is on channel 274 on DSTV, channel 25 on GoTV, and find us on channel 106 on Topstar. You can also follow and give us a like on our social media platforms. Camnet TV, not just another channel.